In this lesson, we'll look at the basics of electric charges. We'll cover what kinds of electric charge there are, what the charges of different subatomic particles are, how the charges interact with each other, what effect distance has on electrical force, and we'll learn how contact forces are really caused by electric forces. A charged object can have two different kinds of charges. It can have a positive charge or it can have a negative charge. If an object doesn't have a negative or positive charge, then it's not a charged object and we say that it is neutral. There are three main kinds of subatomic particles. Protons and neutrons are found in the nucleus of the atom, and electrons are found orbiting in the electron cloud. Protons have positive charges. Electrons have negative charges, and neutrons are neutral, having no charge at all. Different electrical charges cause electrical forces. Two positively charged objects repel each other. That means the electrical force pushes them away from each other. The same thing happens with two negative charged objects. However, if one object is positively charged and the other one is negatively charged, then the electric force pushes them towards each other. We say that opposite charges attract each other, while like charges repel each other. The distance between the charged objects changes the amount of electrical force also. If objects are far apart, they have a small amount of electrical force, either attracting or repelling them. When objects are closer together, the electrical force is much larger. One of the interesting things about electric forces is that they actually cause all of the forces that we think are contact forces. For example, when you tap the screen of your phone with your finger, you feel like you're touching the screen of your phone. In reality, what's happening is that your finger is made up of atoms with electrons orbiting outside each atom, and the screen of your phone is also made up of atoms with electrons orbiting on the outside. Now remember, electrons all have negative charges. So as the electrons in your finger come close to the electrons in the phone screen, there's an electrical force repelling them apart. And the closer they get, the stronger that force becomes. So you feel it as if you're touching the screen, when really the electrons in your finger and the electrons in the phone screen never actually make contact with each other. In this lesson, we talked about how objects can have positive or negative electric charges. We learned that protons have positive charges, while electrons have negative charges. We learned that like charges repel each other, but opposite charges attract each other with an electric force, and that electric force is stronger when the charged objects are brought closer together. Finally, we learned that contact forces between us and the world around us are actually caused by the electrons and the atoms of the objects getting very close together and repelling each other with enough electric force to feel like we're touching the other object.